this is Divine Sunshine coming to you with your divine energy, current energy reading for something's on here. A connection. Okay. Oh, okay, that's fine. For this week coming up, I didn't do this week. I kind of took like a little break because I had been concentrating on the playground experience, and then we had things with the job that was happening as well. But this morning, they go that back on cold water pouring down my back feeling again. But this morning, I was brought the message that was saying that I saw Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper singing "Shallow." Thank you for the divine confirmation. They're saying that Spirit was saying, the source was saying that we're being kind of shallow. I'll put it nicely, a nicer way. We're not going deep enough as far as in the process of really getting our hands dirty and really actually going in there to see what is wrong, as they say. What is actually going on that is stopping us from having that union? Currently, as I see in the 3D, a lot of the trends of things is going on. We're still stuck on not doing this smart. We're doing things hard. That's a little policy that we have in our and at work. We always say we got to think smart. We can't. We're not supposed to be thinking hard as far as doing this. We're doing a lot of seeing what's happening with our counterparts, doing a lot of readings and seeing about what's happening with them. But at the same time, we're not taking time out to really see, do we actually get the messages that divine is actually bringing to us? Are we actually getting the lessons and knowing? Are we actually living our integrity as well? We have got to get to the point that we truly are knowing what we actually desire and living our truth from that point on. We have I was just watching Tanya Gabrielle, and she was talking about that we in Pluto retrograde, and that means right now this is the time in which we really take this inner journey, and life and the source and the power and the energies around us is going to make sure that we really take this time out to really kind of shake things up. They had said that, and I've seen that in other readings. They were talking about astrological, saying about this Taurus moon and this Taurus lessons that we're getting into because of the Taurian energies and season that we're actually in. I told you also on my thing, this right now we're April moving into May, in which we got to really start moving things around and shifting. In May, we actually is showtime, and maybe we are also actually moving into the energies of understanding that we got to practice what we preach. And with that, and really applying, because when June comes, that's pretty much, I feel that it's starting the summer, which is love, and we're really going to be, some of us are actually going to be actually in more communications with our divine counterparts, more into union, more of a harmony and a cohesiveness that's going on with our divine counterparts than ever before. This is important that we get this together and we get rid of all this stuff. Okay, that get rid of all this stuff now, because you might be, as I see a masculine's name up here, might be inviting you. The divine masculine might be ready to invite you to the party, and you've got to be ready. There's several things that we have to really kind of get on the bandwagon, and there's the two things that we've got to work on of getting rid of that energies is the forgiveness and the trust. Spirit has brought that to me several times, and that's why they say we've got to get down into the nitty gritty of actually looking into what is not going or not aligning with us becoming into union with ourselves and with our counterparts. That is the most important things, because we should be working on for the mindset that we're getting ready for it to happen next. Just like a bride going to the bridal thing. You don't just pop up at the wedding. You go and try on things. You go taste foods. You go find a venue. You do all those different things for the actual wedding day. And so we've got to actually get into that mindset that we got to start getting ready. I told you the other time when we did that about creating like a mission statement in the playground experience. That is one way that we need to be able to do that, seeing as far as what we actually want to do. If you haven't seen it, please check out the last one that we did about the mission. Understanding the mission is you being the best version of yourself as well, as far as also getting into mission with what's your divine purpose and things you're supposed to be doing in the world about something that you love, and how you're supposed to go out there and take what you love and how it can help the world, and together that creates your mission as well. But we also have to come to the understanding that we are now coming to the times where it's really time's up for playing the games and not being very serious with whatever. They say they showing me like a pool. We done played in the shallow end. It's time for you to start getting into deep diving into who you are. They show me all the time as my animal totem, a seal. And whenever you see a seal or any type of sea lion or things like that, that's telling you it's time to take a deep dive into your emotions. Really start to kind of really get in understanding about your body, being conscious about who you are as identity, who you are as a person. And tonight it should be released soon. We're going to talk about excuse me, in the playground experience. We're going to talk about also defining the divine feminine as well, and so understanding her role. Now that's a nice segue into it. Some other things that maybe Spirit will bring back to me with the conversation we said earlier. But what I'm going to do is a little bit different again, because I go by what Spirit says. With my channel and my things, I talk about, what are the energies as far as the divine feminine. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to bring this out. The divine feminine in the 3D, the 5D, or the divine masculine 3D, 5D, and then what things have to do. So what I'm going to do for this one is I am going to we're going to talk about like the avatar. Like if you're in a feminine body, what are you doing as far as those energies that's bringing in, as far as, because they're brought to me the body. Like what do you identify as your energies that you identify with? Because again, those energies that you might identify, you might be a masculine, there might be a divine feminine, or you might be a divine masculine you might be a masculine who's a divine feminine, or you might be a feminine that might be a divine masculine. Those things kind of differ. And understanding that when we talk about these different readings and we're talking about the different energies, it's not that I was watching another one who's a masculine and he was talking about these readings are always talking about what are they doing. But you should be watching from a standpoint of trying to get an understanding as far as where are your energies, your divine masculine energies on the outside, where are they at, so it can help you to know what's your counteract that you need to do as far as your actions to change things on your end or your perspective. It should not be, and I'll be one of the ones that admit to, it should not be from what is he doing or what is she doing. It should be from an understanding, oh, this is where they're at, so that means I need to kind of work on this part to maybe help them to heal on their end. Or as I was listening to my divine feminine energies, this is going to help me to understand where I am. Okay, and how I need to better myself so I can better prepare myself with union with self, with union on the outside. So just kind of keep those things in mind. So I'm going to start off with the divine feminine's higher self. Clear. Okay, so right now the current energy is the divine feminine's 5D self. What's happening? This is a lot. Not so many. Ooh, la 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 la. The saint of spoken words. Every word I say becomes a prayer. I am the author of my own story. Interesting. Today, April had kind of corrected Kathy D on it and say, watch it. You're manifesting. We both had to catch you on manifesting things. So right now, as a divine feminine, what you're doing in the 5D is that you are creating your own world with your words. Your words are powerful. Your words are like a prayer. They're like an affirmation. They're like a signal. Most of the time when you do prayers to the divine, to the source, or to the powers that be, it's like a way of saying, this is what I want. You put it in your order. And so with this is saying that you watch your words right now, because it is very highly for you to be able to manifest the things that are like an affirmation. You're affirming, which means you are making firm what you want to actually happen. And you're the author of your story. So by you saying those words, you are creating your own events or experiences that are going to actually happen for you in right now. So this is what the divine feminine's 5D self is right now saying. This is what is actually happening, your words. So right now at this stage, like I said, your intentions, your integrity, you've got to be very sure as to what you want to actually manifest. So you've got to police your ideas and your thoughts. It's very crucial at this point, because right now you're at the point that you are actually they say incubating stage, like the baby, and being able to kind of really give birth to your child. I think about April Williams talked about her baby before, years before having the baby, and that she spoke the words and she acted a certain way so that when it was a time for the baby to give birth, that it gave birth with this certain energies already attached to it. Excuse me, I'm trying to download this at the same time here. And so that's what creates that world to already. So you got to think of it like that. One thing I know I was tell with the divine feminines is now I'm with me really making myself just a little bit once upon a day, just seeing myself, daydreaming, seeing myself and feeling as if I'm with the divine masculine, as a way of trying to train myself to be okay. Okay, so we're getting ready for it. So, start kind of seeing yourself doing the things that you want to, that you wanted to see, and then feel yourself like it's actually happening. It's like, I got to get myself together, because I don't want to get in that moment to go scared, to go back, to have fear based, to start to not trusting, to forgive. It's like when it happens, it's like, oh, I've trained myself, almost like a regular athlete training myself for the actual race of the marathon that I'm going to actually run. So I'm getting myself geared up mentally, physically, psychologically, in my heart space, ready for that. In your 3D right now, what's going on with the divine feminine right now is you and your divine, your thoughts is twofold. You got a fork in the road. Right now, in the 3D for the feminine, what's actually happening is that, you kind of focusing in on your own stuff. You're looking at the mirror, the window of the soul. I see a horse, which means you're looking for a horse. When you see those in cars, that represents freedom. Okay, I see tulips here, which represents like a spring, a blossoming or opening as well. And I see a heart here with like a medal on it, which is, again, have your eyes on the prize as well. So you're looking at the window of the soul. You wanted this freedom. You want things to blossom and bloom, kind of like spring, a newness to your earth, to the territorial who you are, and you got your eyes on the prize. And I see this very extra long braid here. This represents your knowledge. So you've been working and becoming very knowledgeable about things. Your intuition, your awareness has become strong, because I see it braided, which to me is represented like it's been binding. It's like you really have become this strong thread together. However, in your thinking, it has been pretty much kind of like feeling very vulnerable and still a woe is me in your thinking in the 3D. But the truth is there. Is right there in the on the masculine side of this. However, you still got your head kind of down. So that means some kind of way divine feminine in the 3D, you're not fully sold on this. That's why they said in the 50 is showing is sending down this message to you. Kind of watch your words, watch your prayers, watch, because you're becoming authority to this. Also, the divine masculine that's in your life is also feeling like while you're busy trying to transform yourself, he's feeling as if he's being a little kind of isolated by everything that's going on. And that's not really actually what you really saying. It might seem like it, but that's not actually what's going on. So now you can see how the divine masculine feels on his end when you see him golf doing things, and you like, he's saying it's not what it seems, but it might look like it portrayed on the outside, but that's not actually what's going on. So that's going on with the divine feminine. Let's look at the divine masculine. These are my divine masculine cards as well. Okay, if you want these, you could go to Divine Unisouls 11.co and get you that one. The shipping is free for this one. These are 44. This is 2 decks. This is 88 cards in all. Okay, all right. 88 cards in all. We got 2 decks. And this is all of the archetypes of a masculine based upon Greek gods. Okay, and Greek and Roman gods. All right, so let's look at the 50 version of the divine masculine. I'll do the whole way, I know. Then, yeah, okay. And clarifiers. About to go out again. Sorry. Excuse me. I knew it was about to go out. Oh, it went out? Well, okay. I'll do it later. Because that's going to disrupt my thought process, doing that every minute of the minute. I'll do it tonight again. Okay, so now, right now, in the highest form, in the 50 form of the divine masculine, it has Curious Tempest, which is luck and fortuitous opportunist. So right now, the 50 version of the divine masculine is telling him, listen here, you've got an opportunity that's going to present itself. And if I was you, I would jump on it right now. I'm sorry. This is going to bother me. Yeah. So if you do not jump on it right now, you can hang it up. Okay. So my thing is, that's interesting. Okay. So my thing is for you to understand divine masculines, you are being that's watching, you are being presented with an opportunity right now for your higher self. They say right now, and it's urgent. That means now. Okay. So you need to become an opportunist. I think about on the divine, on the Atlanta Housewives, and Candy Burris' mom called her husband Todd an opportunist. He's like, well, you an opportunist. Yeah, right. And that's funny because my mom kind of called my divine masculine that too. Like, you know, because I tell you easy, you want to rise up in the world and clear. If anything come along that you can see, you're going to just jump right on it. But this is not in a negative way. This is from a more of a positive way of saying that, you know, the universe and source are really opening up things for you right now that's going to make it possible for you to whatever it is. If it's getting out, like I'm hearing them saying, get out this situation, this karmic or 3D situations. they're going to open it up for you, and it's urgent. But you know, it's always like they said in my church, you know, spirit is as instant as you are. So when they give you that opportunity for you to jump, you can't be sitting up there questioning how, why, when, all that kind of stuff at the same time. So right now, your 5th version of the divine masculine is saying, we right now it's going to be, we're going to present you with an opportunity. It's going to be a lucky, it's going to be a serendipitous event that's going to occur, that's going to seem like it's going to open up, or you're going to get some money or some kind of thing that's going to help you to get you a leg up. And when we present that to you, you need to go ahead and jump on it. Now, some of them, they bring it to me, it might not even be money, it just might be something that's like, oh my God, I got a chance with the divine feminine. I haven't spoken to them, but some I got a feeling to say, I got a feeling that I need to jump on this right now, because someone's telling me it's like, it's now. It's now. Go for it right now, you know. And you say, well, I ain't talked to her in about 5 years. And then someone's saying, I said, do it now, you know. So in the 3D version of the divine masculine, this is happening. We got the devil energy. Again, he is letting the material things, like I see this penis in his hand, but to me, I'm going to say it's the material things. That's it. To be, I'm saying he's kind of trying to be one with all this other stuff. It look like that's kind of like fornication and things. I'm seeing people back there dancing. They into the material world, doing the Joneses things that's not really aligning with you. They're kind of, you know, just not being divine in the way they're doing things. And you trying to be in life of the party and join in with it. And you might be acting a dick in some ways, not so nice about this. And so this is this energy that you got to get a handle of it, because I see it in your hand at this point. And so this is what's going on with this. Like, to me, is almost like he's worshiping it, like somebody with a Heisman trophy, and like, look. And so, you know, you've got to deal with that demon, them demons, the devil that you know, that's really you need to kind of get rid of. Right now with divine masculine, you're saying in your emotions, you know, your emotions, you're all tied up. But something about you and your emotions, divine masculine, you kind of being beautiful about it. It's like you're not really letting it bother you. Even in your thinking, you're like, how the hell can I be cool and calm and reserved underneath these kind of daggone conditions? I can't even really understand this. And so, and why is this? Is because your divine feminine is doing the work. She's all hung up and tied up at the moment. Maybe she's in isolation, can't get out, but you seeing her making the best that she can with what life is serving her. You're also looking at and seeing, also with this tree, she's getting more knowledge about some things as well. And so you're taking that into consideration. And I'm seeing right here on the divine feminine thing, right now she's in the caterpillar stage, which is fat. She's getting ready to transform herself into the next stage of life. Excuse me one second. Okay, so she's getting ready to do that. I knew you was going to go out. You did it again. With that, just hold on. I'm trying to, so y'all can have this playground. So just bear with me as I'm doing this at the same time. I see the Knight of Wands. So with right here is, you know, it's got to be some type of action that's got to go on. And I'm seeing this is really, really in your feelings and in your thinking. You want this freedom. You really rather want to ride off with this freedom in your thinking and in your emotions. But also, let's carry this on into the 3D, that you really want this freedom, and this freedom that you want is with your divine feminine. Okay, I see you got it. Is this a cape on? Yeah, it look like a cape. Like, so to me, almost like you want to really be like Superman, really be in your divinity as you're doing that. And I see she's also got something white on too. So let's say both of you all are in your Superman and Superwoman or Wonder Woman, really take it off to the sunset like the end of a movie, galloping away like they used to say. To me, I see this wheat from the shaft. I think I'm picking up that quote, wheat from the shaft, which again is be able to separate the good from the bad. And I think because of this moment that you're doing right now of wanting this freedom, you're learning right now, divine masculine, how to be able to separate those two things at this moment. Okay, so that's where you are in the 3D. Okay, What is the heart of the matter? Oh. Clear. For the divine feminine. And for the divine masculine. This might well really stay out here, because I'm going to need you later. And clarifiers, please. I got to do a personal reading. Clear. Okay, divine feminine, you've got to learn how to trust, okay? Right now what's going on with you is in your thinking, you are still being holding up, let's say no holds bar, okay, about some things. You still coming up there and it's like, I got to be defensive up here as far as guarding my heart. I've done the work. I softened. I don't have that hard armor on. I'm not straight fresh off of the battlefield. But at the same time, I'm letting you know I served my time. What does that let me know? That lets me know you're saying in some ways to the divine masculine, listen here. I have, I done been through the fire, I've been through the flood with you. And sometimes you might even be kind of defensive in coming from that part. Or that kind of way of mindset in dealing with the divine masculine. You know, also when it comes to just trust things and your emotions, you wear your heart on the sleeve, especially like dealing with the divine masculine. We always have a way of setting that bar and resetting it and pushing it back and making it lower for the divine masculine, because they have a special place in our heart. And you know, like, it's nobody else, anybody else who's come along. We've always said, nah, you can forget that, homie. You ain't getting the special privileges like the divine masculine do. He could do that. You can't. You trying to find out what happened. Watch, find out your feelings gonna get mighty hurt up in this situation. And so right now your thinking, it's got the pillar on the masculine side. So really that means foundationally you are still guarded. In the trust, and I keep on saying that, and God willing that, you know, I say that that's one of the two things, and I still hold very dear to my heart about that, is the two areas of forgiveness and trust. Those are the two things that's going to be a big hurdle. That's even me included. I can put my hand up about that, as far as when it comes to union, and you're going to be standing there and you're going to be like, okay, now what? This is so totally new. This is so totally new about this, because I just don't know what to do now. And I think Sean has said that also on the playground experience too, that he was saying a lot of people who have been in union, that they had clients come to them and ask them, and say a lot of times the feminine is the one, when she gets there, she kind of breaks down and say, I don't know what to do with him. I'm nervous. You know, he's here now. Well, now what do I do? That's why I said, and I have done also, I did one about that, start envisioning. I did an exercise with you all. That's for free. That was a present to you all, for you all to start getting in your space, getting ready for the divine masculine to come. Thank you. That was a channel thing. That was a present to you all to start doing it. I would expect in some ways that there would be a little bit more of for you all to really take upon that and put that and embrace that into your practice as well. Why do you need to trust? Because it says to co-create. Understanding that, again, not co-create, we just said earlier, from your 5D divine masculine self is saying they want you to start understanding that you are the creator of your world through your thoughts. If you don't trust, guess what? You're going to create more not trusting things. I think about it, and that's the only thing of experience that I could give of my two parents, and both of them said that was fine. if that helped you all on the journey to do a better job than they did, it would. I still, when I look at both of my parents, again, as twin flames, and they came from an earlier template in which the society and themselves and how they grew up and their support system that was around them didn't help to support them in where they are. If you, both of them coming from a place of not trusting. My dad came from a place that he had a lot of messed up marriages that had also had stopped him from not being able to trust. So when my mom came, it's a different form of love that he was not used to. He was not able to identify nor accept that type of love because of the hurt that he had received all the way down and from the other marriages like he should have. My mom, because of everything that my dad had did, was not able to, he didn't know who he was, and so he went out and he went and did things outside of the marriage or whatever like that, whatever. I can't say on record what exactly had happened, but I know in her heart he wasn't as true as he and committed to the relationship or the marriage like he should have been, from him not knowing who he was or who he is in that standard. When you have two of those people coming together to co-create a new world together, and you're supposed to do like Sean said, which you're supposed to cleave to one another because you're creating that new synergy of energy that's going to be exchanged between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. That causes a problem for you to continuously keep that flow going on without all those interruptions and disruptions that occur. So that calls for them, because of them not being able to trust, that they could not really it could not sustain that type of energy of them keep on staying and orbiting in the same orbiting with each other in the same energies, because again that caused that to repel. Again, I don't trust, you don't trust. Okay, well, we can't attract each other because we're doing the same thing. We both ain't trusting. Okay? So that causes for, if you were coming in, that's why we tried to tell you all, and I see Mr. Lightworker said that as well. Get to the point, do your work, so that when you do your work, which in turn causes the divine master to do his work, and when he's ready to come to you, he's fully. You won't have that dynamic like my parents had. They got it together towards the end, but by that time it was kind of semi too late, and she still left with questions of why he did what he did. I don't understand and trust. Okay. Till my mom said till April said she said, well, your mom and your dad got to repeat over again, because her thoughts that she's been left with has calcified, and now they got to go on ahead and do it over again. You don't want to get to that point. You know, my understanding now with these twin flames, this is supposed to be our last rodeo. You want to kind of get it right. And so you don't really want to get together before you find yourself to propel and to separate, for you to propel and for you to separate. Again, you work too hard for this moment. So now that's why you've got to work on that trust and that forgiveness. That's why I was so hard pressed on that, of understanding that we've got to get that. We could be able to define who we are as feminines. We could define who we are as masculines. We could do that. But if we cannot be able to embrace that understanding of we've got to forgive ourselves, forgive about what has happened to us, forgive about what has been done, what we have seen, what we have experienced, what we have learned, all those things. This is all going to be hurdles in order for us to have union with ourselves and union on the outside. Okay? We got to look at our foundation. We got to think about how wise we are, and we got to be able to run the race. We can't get to a point when we call about trust and then we run out of air, run out of energy getting there as well. And that's what the cheetah represents. The cheetah represents stamina, being able to run the race. That means in the relationship, you all as twins to be able to have stamina to continuously keep it going and keep it flowing as well. We have also here with the divine masculine, the heart of the matter is let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. When I look at it, a lot of times the divine masculine, according to this, in your emotions, Your emotions looks like it's kind of hard at work, but you sit there all the time thinking, but there's no movement in that thinking of controlling. It's like, if I control my mind, you know, and the emotions is kind of doing the work, but the emotions is also being very guarded. And I see this little person, to me, it's like guarded of their future, of us being able to start. This is what the child also represent. This can also be, again, your control, because of this is so many levels to it. When I look at this again, maybe something happened with you and the mother, your child dynamic with a mother or a female figure in your life that seemed like it kind of worked very hard. It was very labor, like a burden to you, as far as how you viewing feminines overall. But it's like right now, at the point that you got a lot of the angels are really working with you. They're talking to you and giving you guidance, because they're letting you know you're moving into the energies of understanding that this person that you call divine masculines, that don't understand the terminology of twin flames, or this person who is above just a regular person, that there's something about you and that person's soul, on a soul level, a cellular level, like a cellular, but a cellular level, you and that person click. They know they have a key to your heart like nobody else has, and they know how to unlock it for you, and vice versa. And things just flow. It becomes natural, and the love just flow. And in order for you to kind of you got to get control of these control issues, so you can be able to gain this soulmate, to move into that energy of understanding that this twin flame of this person that you say you feel on a much deeper level than just body, mind, and spirit, but your soul is different than that. You feel it deep down there that this person has a connection to you. Right now, the heart of the matter is, now this is chemistry. Chemistry is in reverse. When chemistry is in reverse, that represents stress. So right now, knowing that you're stressing out, divine masculine, that this divine feminine has this light. Okay, in some kind of way, you also, as your emotions, has the light, has the enlightenment. It has the key to tell you how to get out of this situation. But your divine masculine keeps looking at, which will be the divine masculine here will represent your thinking, keeps looking to your emotions, to saying, yeah, but some kind of way with this emotions leading the way for you is very uncomfortable, and it's causing this stress to kind of occur with you. But in the 3D, that you are attracted to your divine feminine. Okay, and so with that, we have also, you're trying to now emotionally, with this stress here, and you want to move from the stress into a chemistry of attracting your divine counterpart, your divine feminine, into you understanding that you've got to building blocks. You're getting to the point that you understand that you got to level up. You got to put your emotions on high revere. You got to really honor your emotions where it is. You got to honor your divine feminine as well. And really they said to me, like, yes, she does. Like Santa Claus does exist. Yes, this divine feminine does exist. Okay, and she is the queen of your heart. We also have to go on to understanding that the here and now. We got to live in the present. You're stressing now, like they said, you become depressed when you think about the past, and you become anxious when you think about the future. And so right now you becoming stressed about it because you're thinking about the future, about what's going on in it. You're anxious and you're stressed out about that. And so you got to live in the now, because you do know in your emotions, you want to have this new start. You want to have this new start with your divine feminine as well. It's saying again, but you're stressing because you're looking at some things that you did in the past, or you're looking at some things that you did that you wanted to accomplish in the future. And that's what's stressing you out. But you know that right now you're stressed out too, because now you got a deeper knowing. Like before, you didn't know anything. And so now you're moving into the energies of you being able to really actually, know things. And when you know things, your things have expanded. And you can't go back to the old ways in which you were before. And so that's what makes it a bigger, it's like it has expanded. It's almost like, what's that thing? Said now you know and you can't go back. It was something I seen in some program. And, just want you to know. Well, almost like the Matrix. Once you had that blue pill, like he told you, it's either blue or red pill. And whichever way you go, you're not going to, I think one of them, he said you go back to the way life you were. The other one, will you be changed forever? Well, whichever way it goes, you're going to be, even if he took the other pill and he stays the way he is, guess what? You are changed, because now you're sitting about that, thinking about the what is. What if I might have took that other pill that I didn't take? Could my life have been changed? Now you get changed because now you know better. Now you know even beyond that. Or if you go by the story of Adam and Eve, that's what they bring it to me. And they got the tree of knowledge, and they both eating. That means the Adam and Eve, that being your thinking and your emotions. Now that you've eaten, or you've gotten the knowledge about from the tree of life, that part you can't go back. That's it. That's why they got, banished from the Garden of Eden, because he's like, well, now who told you? You told you stuff that I told you that didn't exist, but now you went on ahead and had it. So now go on. Since you know everything, go out there in the world and now experience it all. I'm going to sound like my mom. Go out there and experience it all, since you know it all now. Because you up there listening to other things told you to go ahead and eat. It wasn't an apple, but whatever fruit it was. And you went on ahead and ate it. So, okay then. So you know now. So go on. You can no longer live here in this space because you know too much. Okay? And that's the same thing. You cannot know, now you know things. You cannot still act to remain the same. Okay? No matter how much. That's like you asking, I want to go back in your womb because right now everything is happening in the world is too much. So I won't go back in my mama's stomach. That's not going to happen. Okay? It's time for you to grow up. Clear. What are the things in which the divine feminine is has to deal with the shadows? Now, what are the shadows in which the divine feminine has to work with? Ooh, and the divine masculine, that's what I was thinking about. But that's funny, you fell over there. So let me leave it over there. I'm going to let gravity handle that, because it went just like this. It's like, nope, I belong over here. Okay, fragmentation. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, fragmentation. So right now with the divine feminine, you're not really whole. Or according to this, your divine masculine energies or chakras need some work on. So I will work with the lower extremities of them, with the solar plex, the sacral, and the root chakra. You got it, because that's going to be the key as to what's going to be able to unlock some things for you, and so you can be able to fly, and then everything else will get color, because this to me is like you just like blah bland. There's nothing going on there with that, and especially got illusion on top of your head. So right now you got to stop believing in illusions about what's actually being seen, and now moving to the energies of understanding that you got to rely on your intuition and your awareness. And it's funny, I think Jupiter 1111 did that today, and she was talking about some of us, and I never thought of it. She said some of your karma that you're dealing with is the karma of dealing with your divine counterpart being in a karmic relationship. Because them being in the karmic relationship is stopping you from really seeing the value of what it is. I told you all that, again, when they're in the karmic situations, those are really dojo situations. Dojo means, the word dojo means a place in which you learn the way. So, and I know it's hard for me as well. I get into my humanness and say, well, you're divine sunshine. No, I get into my humanness and I have to remind myself, you got to practice what you preach. You can't sit up there and tell everybody else and then say, well, that's them because they got problems, and that the God is giving me and the source is giving me this gift, and what I talk about don't apply to me, it applies to them. I watch stuff back again just like this, because a lot of times this is channel. This is not me. I look at my own self as it makes me say, you said that? Oh my God, unbelievable. But you got to understand that while they're in those karmic situations, they are in there because they have got to clear out some stuff. What's wrong with the divine feminines a lot of times is, and yes, I'm preaching to you, I found out, if April, you watching this, I found out that my great-grandfather was a preacher. And that's where it comes down to. Because, a lot of times you sound like it. So my thing is, so I got that inherently through my bloodline about spirituality and preaching and telling people the word and things of what things should be and how you should live life. So I get that from him. So my thing is that understanding that a lot of times they're in that situation because they got to learn something, and we've got to stop taking things personal. A lot of times this stuff ain't got nothing to do with us that they're going through. You understand? Again, they're coming from a place that some of them they've got to finish out what are the kind of things that they came here, if you want to say contracts that they doing, karmic things that they got a karmic contracts, or personal things, or things they got to clear out for the bloodlines, things that they got to do of that nature. Just like they're in a karmic situation, you're in a karmic situation as well. This Jupiter never said, and I've said that before too. You got some things. You can't be saying, oh, they in the issue, they got a situation, and you ain't got none yourself. I can look at myself and know what it is. I know why he in his three-party things, because I still got a karmic situation that I got to deal with, which is family-based, which is my mom. It was my dad, my mom. I got hit twice with it and say, now you want to clear up both of this stuff here, and I know it, and I can know that even when we talked about divine masculine, he asked me, how that's going with your mom's situation, and I was like, okay, you reminded me. It's like, okay, when that stuff get a little better, my stuff will get a little better, and so it's a work in progress on both ends, And so my thing is understanding that, again, sometimes it's things that they've got to clear up from either past lifetimes or this lifetime, some about their family in which it was made up of, and they've got to go through there and clean it up. And they're the ones that have been sent there. After them, they say it's no more after that. So you would rather for them to clean up and get rid of that stuff, that whatever they're doing with the karmic situation, the third party thing, and say, yeah, you work on your stuff and I work on my stuff, than to end up to be like my parents was just almost like a poster child or a poster of, in certain points, of what not to do, what goes wrong between two twin flames, thank you, God agree, that don't realize, to let go of the trust issues that they have. That's just it, that's it. And so you have to look at it and see it, knowing, understanding that you don't want to, I don't want to doom that. And so that's why I come in. I always joke and say I'm my dad and my mom 2.0, which means that this is it here. I'm the next version to get it right. After them, they should be taking the karmic things with them and saying, when she comes along and she gets married to her twin or be with her twin, this stuff ain't gonna be repeated again. And that's the same thing what he's doing with his thing about that, finishing that stuff out. So divine feminine, you're hiding your true self. Again, I talked about that. You're not letting your divine feminine. Please make sure that you watch what we have tonight for the divine feminine, defining the divine feminine from the playground experience. We talked about the feminines and how on the outside that how social media and how the society and how growing up, how we have got that template of being a feminine from, and how we've got to come and change that. Is it ready now? Oh, I think it is. I think it's ready to be published. Hold on one second. Oh, it says processing. Oh, it's almost there. Yeah, and so we're hiding this. We got read. Again, we got to get rooted in. You got to send down what you are being grounded and rooted from as far as divine feminines, what you actually want to do. We are hiding from what we want. I've told you we've even hidden from what we actually want as far as the divine masculine. We've started to tell a lie. That's why I keep on saying we've got to live our life with integrity. I just like to keep on sounding like Mr. Rogers from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, or Rogers' Neighborhood, and say the word of the day is kids, but it is, the word of the day is integrity with the twin flame journey. We got to live it for ourselves. We got to live it for what we want and what we desire. For the divine masculine, you are hiding revenge. So some of you all emotionally divine masculines, you got them swords pointed out. You got your own sword of justice, or your own definition of justice of what's supposed to be going on, and it ain't good, divine masculine. Some of it is because of your roots, where your family roots, where you are, where things you are grounded in, divine masculine. They're not good. If you want revenge because of time, it looks like how you've been treated over the years and the periods of things of that, and you just the center of it. It's been blinded you that you can't be able to see. You know, I also think about it, sometimes DM and his relationship kind of with the mom and how he's viewing some things with that, and you could just hear it, you know, and you just don't know. You hear some DMs they talk about that in their relationship with others or female figures, and we got to kind of clear that up emotionally, divine master. I'm not saying all of it, just a couple of you all that's got this here, but it's whatever it is making you blind, and you got these swords out here. Now to me, when they like that, you got your swords up there to the point that you may not be even able to let anybody else near you, because you got them out. I can't even come up if I wanted to, as your divine feminine, wanted to give you a hug. I couldn't do that. Clear. Because you got the swords pointing out. You know, so that's why you got to kind of be a little kind of watchful of that. It's a lot for you all. Okay? You keep on saying this second time this sucker that came out for you all. Divine feminine, you got a lot of things, life changes that they say it should be happening. It's going to be happening in this period, from this period to when I do the next reading. So you got religion and spirituality. This is the way. This is going to change. Religion means what things you think of over and over again habitually are going to change. Your spirituality is how you're going to communicate. This is going to change, because I see this butterfly here is blue, so you're transforming into that, and also being able to say it in love, in passion, how you're passionate about spiritually about what you have to say. You also, your finances is going to change as well, because I think I heard Jupiter 11 talk about that. Once you get into this vein of knowing who you are, being on your authentic self, be living in your integrity, you're going to bring all that abundance and goodness your way financially. The universe is going to be able to communicate this back to you again, because you're more passionate. Your passion in spirit, in your spirituality, has changed here as well, and things are going to start to become black and white. It's no more gray area. You're going to see clear as day as to what you actually need to do. Gracefully aging, to me, it's like you just taking your time, becoming spiritually mature inside and out, being mature, and really understanding that, you know, you're getting grounded in your solar plexus, which is the power of standing in your authority, and in your sacral, being able to relate with others and creatively manifest new things, new opportunities to come your way. So you're almost working in the same energy like the divine masculine as well. For the divine masculine, it's time for an end of an era. Okay, end of the era is coming your way. Here, things are for you too. Is transforming to be. It's becoming black or white. But you've got to first, on the outside. First thing is you got to eliminate some stuff, because I see the color brown there. And then as you eliminate things and you unfold and you become transformed into it, things are going to become black or white. Because I see you working into your passion, again, your spiritual passion about things as well. And so with knowing that, that is going to help you to understand that you're moving into an end of an era here as well. Where's my phone so I can see what's going on with this thing? So you got an end of an era, and so in your heart chakra as well, that's playing a part too. It's in the background, but it looks like to me it wants you to start. Your first thing in the foreground is get rid of it, eliminate things, then get passionate spiritually about some things, and then the heart will also follow with that. Okay, next thing. Okay, so it's finishing processing. Ha ha! Yes, I'm so excited. Sound like Jupiter 11 now. Oh my God, you are going to just love what we had tonight. This was a labor of love. Clear. Okay, next thing. What do we need to surrender for divine masculine? Oh, no, stay. What do we have to surrender for divine feminine? Because that's what I was thinking. Okie dokie. Ooh, I might have to open up this door here. Divine feminine, you got to surrender to success. What I see here again, you are ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties, leap into an exciting new world of possibilities. I feel with you, Divine Feminine. Some of you are, again, are afraid of success. That's the first thing when I seen that card pull out, and it said to me, you've got to get to the point that you're okay with this success and being in this union with your Divine Masculine in the physical, in the flesh. No more 5D practicing and daydreaming about him. Like he's actually, like he say, I'm ready. I got a quote that I see on my phone that always says, if I would come on your doorstep today, would you be ready? So prepare. So that's the same thing that you got to do to be. It's like you look at the window of your soul, the mirror, look at yourself, let it open it up to new ways so you can be able to see the forest beyond the trees there. And the next thing also with the Divine Masculine, it says surrender to creativity. You too got a mirror as well. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. To me, it's saying you got to surrender to creativity. You got to think out the box. You got to think, I think they say we're moving into the Aquarius age. You got to tap into that Aquarius energy that we're about to move into and think of. Aquarians are very good and noted for being able to think outside the box. Tap into that energy of understanding that this now, when we move it into the age of Aquarius, that you've got to learn how to now, from this point on, think of things that is not the devil that you know or the things, the norms that you used to. But you've got to move to the point where you're understanding that you got to move beyond that, okay? Next thing. What things do we have to divine feminine, divine masculine energies that we got to move into? Clear. That's you. A second. I'll see. It might be. That's hold on. I didn't feel like it. Okay. Divine Feminine, you got to become a god of action. You got to feel the way in which that, you got to stop all this here. You got to trust yourself. You got to work with this fragmentation of this lower energy, lower extremities that you got to deal with as far as in the chakras. You got to start trusting. You got to become action here. I see a Capricorn and a Aries energies being represented here. Because you see the goat and the ram. Again, Capricorn represents like mountain climbers, the goal. You got to be able to climb those obstacles or those challenges of what your mind and your thinking about it can't happen. I can't forgive him. I can't trust him. You got to climb and reach over that and accomplish and triumph over that thought. And then also with the Aries energy, you got to become start of action, and you got to actually ram it, and you got to actually target it. As well, like this is it, laser beam, and this is what I'm doing, because rams are noted for that, to be able to ram you, to go right into their things that they targeted, and to push them onto things. So you might have to deal with those two. And then you got a hammer. You got this Thor energy here, where you got to really hammer on down, correct that electricity, create that friction, and from that friction you cause that electrical static. As well. So you got to deal with that. With the divine masculine, god of battle, got Aries here. That's interesting. I picked up Aries from this one and say Aries here. Aries is known for also one of action, one of push, one of force, brute force of doing things. You got this horse again here. Benita, I know you're loving it. You got this horse here. And again, that represents freedom. Really wanted to be able to be free in understanding this. But he's got this armor on as well. Now, I want to say that this armor he's got on this time is to help him to battle. This is helping him to be able to battle what he has. He's got to protect himself. Why? Because if he's in this karmic situation or he's in this third-party situation, right now I would say for this, it's okay for you to saddle up with this for the last ride. for the last battle, for the last tower, for the last separation. It's like I'm going to battle and I'm protecting my heart because this heart belongs to my divine feminine. It doesn't belong in this situation. So I'm going to protect it because I know that it's vulnerable. And I know with you all divine masculines, you all have beautiful hearts. I've seen it. Spirit has shown me my divine masculine. I've told him I've seen his heart. His heart is beautiful. And I felt it. And felt it even in recent as well. And so that part, I can understand that. Yes, please, dear masculine, protect that heart until you are out of that. You don't want them to have access to it. So I can understand why he may not be as open and whatever in those positions, because he's getting ready for battle. So he's got to check out. They're telling me that he might be a little, if you're in communication with him, he might get a little checked out about that because he's trying to practice and be in protective mode. And so, my message to you, divine masculine, is just that when you get through that, to just remember to take it off after you deal with it, because remember that kind of process is what got you there in the first place with the divine feminine. And that's funny, the next card, is God of vulnerability. Learn how to be vulnerable too as well, Know where your weaknesses are. Know how to protect and shield that. Have your truth up and saying, I understand this is where I'm vulnerable at, but then also I do know how to protect myself in the process. Sometimes you might have to let your sword down. What I'm bringing for this is especially when they say earlier you got some control issues, divine masculines, you might even find yourself that you're going to have to, that control issue might have to be just laid down and you just have to just be open. The vulnerability doesn't mean like I'm weak, but vulnerability I'm picking up to me is also being open and to things and receptive, and just get to a point of vulnerability can also mean surrender. Be able to surrender to what's actually going on. That's what I'm picking up with that. All right. What is the word that you want to say? Oh, I forgot to see. I'll end with that. Maybe that's why I did that. What are the words that you want to say to your divine feminine? Clear. And divine feminine, what you want to say to your divine masculine? I know I said the opposite, so that's fine. That's fine. Okay, dokie. Lay this on top because we got a reading afterwards. Okay, divine feminine, you want to say to divine masculine is speaking the language of love. Loving words have the power to change someone's life, including your own. Okay, so speak the words of love so you can be able to change things. Physical touch is important. For some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone who needs it. When I feel like physical touch, to me is like to stay grounded. I don't know what else bring that to me, and stay in your body as well through this process. Divine masculines, like, really emotionally, be able to express the love, and your thinking at this time also be able to kind of bow down to it too, but have that appreciation for who you are. Like, start to kind of, to me, is like embrace too. That's what I'm picking up. Appreciate this moment. Each and every situation has an opportunity to grow and find love. Yes, that's what I pick up. For the divine masculine to the divine feminine, he wants to say, look to your inner strength. You are stronger than you realize. I agree with that. He says, embrace your emotions. Don't push down your feelings and judge your emotions. Divine feminine, you all have a tendency, especially when it comes to the divine masculine, you push down. You're not honest with, you still want that lug or that crazy or that one that did what he had did. He might have been acting in this kind of energy once upon a time, but you still admit and be in your integrity that you love them. Okay, forgiveness. April, you watching? Forgiveness. Nothing can be gained by holding on to past disappointments. Okay? And that's what we say about that trust. I just pulled the card straight from the box. You see that. And honesty is essential. Been saying that. Again, To be a loving person, it is important that we speak truthfully and in a loving manner. That means to yourself, to your people in your area, and even to your DM that you're around you. Okay, what is the energy that the powers that be wants us a source to work with? Clear. What's the overall energies we're going to be working with? Benediction. All right. So most of the time, benediction there is how we communicating the end. We beginning with the end in mind. A lot of times they call that backwards planning. I told you, set the intentions. Set the intentions as far as where you want to. Gabriel is the angel of communications. If it's something that you need for Gabriel, for him to help you out with, and you need to communicate with that well, he is the angel that you call on, say, excuse me, Gabriel, I need help. Would you communicate with me communicating this? This is verbal and nonverbal, as far as how I can be able to see this ending of what things that I no longer suit me or serve me, like I say, they're separating the wheat from the shaft, into moving into more of the energies of the things that I need to see appear. Because they always said to the divine feminine that, again, your words is like a prayer. Your prayers, that's very important to you all. And then with the divine masculine, they also say in high things, say, understand you opportunities. So you need for Gabriel to help you to speak words to be of opportunity, verbal and non-verbal. And because the time is of the essence, it is urgent. Okay. All right. That is the end of this energy read for the divine masculine energies and for the divine feminine energies. Please make sure you take time out to watch the playground experience. I've taken time out and applied them into a playlist. So if you missed any of the episodes, you could go on my channel, go to my playlist, and you see the playground as a playlist listed there. Also, if you are interested in getting any services from all three of us, which is we are specialists in spiritual areas, which I do the reading and the spiritual intuitive life coaching, and then also April does also with body and clearing of energies of the body, and also she can see where you're housing some things in the body, and also if you need some ways of how to change your minds while you're on whatever you're doing, twin flame, soulmate, or whatever it is that you're doing as well, or just in life period. She can help you as well with helping you, especially with these times, help you to keep your mind uplifted and divine. And you can get all of our services together too. You go to divineunisouls11.co if you would like all of us at a very discounted price, as well as our services. And it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be with the childhood wounds. It could be about like what's going on now, how to be divine, get on your mission, those things as well. Also, don't forget, if you want my cards, please go to divineunisouls11.co. For $44, you could have this 88 card deck, which reads into just the divine masculine energies only. You don't see too many decks out there that talk about what he's talking about, but they don't talk about the archetypes and the different personalities and the characteristics of a masculine in their divinity as well. Not too many are out there. So again, with clarifiers too, that comes along with that. So if you're interested in getting that, please go to my to divineunisouls11.co as well. As always, until next time, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, namago. Love you.